Hi, welcome to the Find a Sail podcast. I'm Sarah.
I'm Patrick, and this episode is for anyone who's wondering what the hell to bring on your sailing trip.
We've probably collectively sailed with over 1,000 sailors between sailing courses and sailing holidays. And so we've kind of got to the point where we're like, okay, this is what you definitely need to bring. And then we've got a little kind of bonus item at the end, which is maybe not essential, but we definitely feel
it's gonna change your life, so stick around till the end.
Maybe not quite change your life, but it will change your sailing for sure.
The first question is, what should you pack into? A soft collapsible bag, something you can lay flat and store and collapse.
Next thing we've got is thermals. So I've got a long sleeve thermal top and then also a pair of leggings as well. So these ones are from Icebreaker. These are excellent for night sailing. I also double them up as pajamas in the night because I get cold. So yeah, they're kind of multi-purpose in that way, which is great.
Next on our list is foul weather gear. You need a jacket and you need trousers that are windproof and waterproof. They can be dedicated sailing jackets. It can be your skiing gear. It can be a rubber suit from a hardware store, but just something to protect you from the rain and from the wind.
Next thing we've got is sun protection. So we've got a sun hat, sunglasses, and then we've got a scarf. So this is a buff, which is awesome because on the one side you've got the warm side, so you can use that for night sailing, but then you've also got this part for the day.
So a question we get asked a lot is what shoes to bring. And probably you're going to hear that they should have non-marking soles, which is definitely true. But what I think is even more important is that they are comfortable and they are non-slip, so that they are safe. So sneakers, dedicated boat shoes are fine. If you're going to Scotland or to British Columbia or somewhere where it's wet, cold and miserable, definitely bring your wellies as well.
And so next up we've got down jacket. These are great for night sailing, for any time you're going to be cold. The only thing I would say is if you are going to one of those really wet areas like Patrick just mentioned, these are obviously not great to get wet. So you definitely want to bear that in mind if you're going to be somewhere that's really rainy.
Let's move on to gear. So my favorite piece of gear is your headlamp. You will need that, just for getting around the boat in the night, but also if you do night sailing, it's really important. And what's critical is that it has a red light option. Because if you use white light on board, you're going to be blinding everyone, and that's not great.
So next up we have a refillable water bottle. If you're doing long sailing days, it's great to not have to keep going back and forth to grab a cup of water. It's great if it's insulated. For hot days, you can add some ice to it and things like that. So that's definitely a handy item to have.
I've also seen some water bottles have integrated water filters. And that's really handy as well, especially if you're using the water from the boat's tanks. Next things, earplugs. Boats are noisy. It's the creaking of the rig, squishing of the fenders. It's the splashing of the water against the hull. It's the bunkmate who's snoring. So you definitely want to have some earplugs. I would take at least 2 pairs.
Next up is sailing gloves. You probably use them already. This is something that's great to have on deck for handling lines, for handling winches. Also really handy in Europe when you have to handle the mooring lines that come out of the water.
Oh,
They're
God, yeah.
absolutely disgusting. And you probably want to wash them after you use them for that. But so these are great to just have on you at all times when you're sailing.
Next thing are your toiletries. So your sunscreen and all the toiletries should be marine friendly, so that when it goes into the water, it doesn't ruin the environment. And that's especially important nowadays when sailing is very popular.
Next up, we have a lightweight towel. They are really fast drying, way better than having a regular towel that takes hours to dry. You can just put this out on the boat and it'll take, an hour to dry or something.
So next thing is a power pack. Most boats, especially the older ones, might have only 1 or 2 USB slots, so this will keep your stuff charged.
Seasickness pills. So probably by now you know if you're susceptible to seasickness or not, but it's always really handy to have them on board. You just never know when you might have one of those days where it hits you. There can just be those conditions that just trigger you, so it's always great to just have them just in case.
Next thing is your essential documents. So make sure you bring a passport or some form of an ID. If you're the skipper, don't forget your sailing certificate or skipper's license, and also don't forget your VHF license as well. If you're chartering a boat, bring the charter contract with you as well.
Okay, next up is a book and a notepad. So you might think these are not really essential items, but we really think they are. There's nothing better on a boat than, digging into a good book, or even just like a time and a place to reflect, right? I mean, there's nowhere better personally that I've had where I've had that time to really contemplate, and the water really creates a special, unique kind of environment for that, which is actually part of what this book is about. Blue Mind by Wallace J. Nichols. So if you're looking for a book on board, I would highly, highly recommend that one. Yeah, so make sure you bring those 2 items. I know they might take up a bit of extra space in your bag, but you'll be glad that they did.
Definitely worth it, especially with the notebook as well. If you're on a sailing course, then you must bring it 100%. There's going to be so much information that you will forget, so make sure you just jot them down. Notebooks are essential. And on the note of the book, we have the bonus item now as well. It might not be essential, but I think it improves the experience 100%, and that would be a hammock. It's my favorite thing on board. You can use it just for chilling and read a deck book. Sarah actually uses it for sleeping as well, right? When we sleep on deck in warm locations. There's something very special being lulled to sleep by the waves in a hammock. So this would be our one thing that's not essential, but I think we bring it every single time we go sailing.
Yeah. And it definitely becomes the favorite item on board for sure for our clients.
Yeah, that's very true. And you become the favorite person as well, because everybody wants to go into a hammock.
Exactly. Okay, and that's it. That is our ultimate sailing packing list. So we hope that you got something out of this. If you have a favorite item of yours that you want to share that we haven't mentioned, please comment below and let us know. We'd love to hear about it. And then if you want a full printable packing list, you can actually head to findasail.com/packing list, and you can actually download the PDF of that list so that when you're packing, you can just have that next to you and you can check your items off there. So hopefully that's helpful as well.
Thank you for tuning in. If you have a burning question, just comment below or send us a message and we'll try and cover it in the next episode. And thank you for listening, and until next time.